Hello, BookTube. I have a Tuesday MegaStuff video for you today, a brief one. Starting with a tech update, I've been keeping you apprised of frustrations that I've been having with my 7 of 9, with my one device to rule them all. My 2019 iPad with its fabric skin keyboard. The Nook app on my 7 of 9 has been misbehaving for days now. At first, it refused to upload books, and then when it did, it refused to open them. So I'd just tap on it, the cover of the book would go a little faded, but the book wouldn't open. And it wasn't any big deal. It wasn't anything to make me nuts, because the Nook app on all my other iPads works fine, and all the other ebook reading apps on 7 of 9 also work fine, iBooks and whatnot. So it wasn't stopping me from reading ebooks. But it still bothered me because I mean that device to be a sort of omnium gatherum, a place where I can do everything. And then yesterday, on the spur of the moment, I asked my surly houseboy if he would bother to look at this thing. It's not particularly tech savvy, but he is weird. He's from the planet Kolu. He's not human. So I thought, why not? Why not at least ask him? You know, what harm can there be? And he snorted, and he took it, and he's got these long, skinny fingers, and he started to interface with it. And exchange protein sequences, and he got it to work. He got the Nook app on 7 of 9 to work. I don't know how he did it. He doesn't know how he did it, but it did work. So that I wanted to give you a brief update that now works. I don't have any tech issues at the moment. The only tech issues that I have at the moment now are self-control issues, because since one of you sent me a video showing me that futuristic pad technology in Star Trek does not solve the problem of having multiple devices, that all the characters in Star Trek Voyager, for instance, have multiple devices for many tasks at all times. They're surrounded in them, buried in them. Ever since one of you sent me a video full of clips to that effect, I have been eyeing more tech. I'm trying to control it, though. I'm trying to control myself. I think the thing that I want next is another outlay of money. I think I might want an iPad Pro in a larger size, a 12-inch iPad Pro. Also with a fabric skin keyboard. But as far as I know, the fabric skin keyboard that I have for my 10-inch iPad will work. You don't need a different one. It will work just fine for the iPad Pro. I don't see how that could be true, but I guess it is. So that's the next thing that I have in mind. I don't think that I'm going to be doing any extensive drawing on an iPad Pro. And I'm certainly not going to use it for video games, which is the thing that drives this whole industry in terms of obsolescence, in terms of whether or not a company wants to make a new version of a piece of technology. They're doing that because of the gaming industry and nothing else. Not users like me. So I'm not 100% sure that I need a new iPad Pro. One from a year ago would probably be just fine. And I don't think that'll be significantly more of a financial outlay than my 2019 iPad was. The only thing that's stopping me there is, do I really need it? Aside from the size, there's not much difference in it. So there's that, the high-end version of getting another personal access data device, a pad. But then there's also the low end as well, because there are a ton of bargain entry-level tablets at 8 inches and 10 inches and even 15 inches that are mighty tempting. It's mighty tempting to see what can be done with such a device. But I am so far controlling myself. So, but I don't have anything else in the way of mega stuff for you except for mail. We have a couple of packages and a box, and I know who the box comes from. We'll get to that when we get there. But the envelopes obviously come from publishers. So let's see what these are. Okay. All right. This first one is something I am not going to review. I'm almost hesitant to talk about it on the channel. I don't know why authors do this. I don't know why they give their books unsayable names. But this is due in the middle of October. This is by David Wong, and this is the title. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Do we have any? Is there any kind of description? In the futuristic city of Tabula Rasa, 23-year-old Zoe Ash is still adjusting to life as the head of the criminal empire she inherited from her absent father upon his death. With a target the size of a small moon already on her back, Zoe becomes the center of a murder investigation when a disemboweled corpse arrives at her home to accuse her of the death and missing organs. In an effort to clear her name and rescue her beloved cat, Stench Machine, Zoe and her colorful team of high-tech tricksters have to solve this bizarre murder while simultaneously keeping tabula rasa from descending into chaos. Okay, and David Wong is a pseudonym for Jason Pargin, New York Times bestselling author of the John Dies at the End series, as well as the award-winning first book in the Zoe Ash series, Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits. His essays at cracked.com have been read by tens of millions of people around the world. Okay. John Dies at the End was a pretty good book. This sounds to me extremely predictable. Extremely predictable. It sounds... I could ask, for those of you who have read the first Zoe Ash book, I am assuming here that Zoe Ash is perfect at everything. That she has nothing like, that there's nothing in this book, anything even remotely resembling a dramatic character arc. Almost as if the author had no idea what that was. Now, this author does, because I read John Dies at the End, but certainly that the author thinks he is writing a genre in which the young, perky, omnicompetent, universally beloved main female character never has to have anything bad happen. The bad stuff happens when weak men around her let her down. And I would be willing to bet, what was it called again? Her colorful team of high-tech tricksters. I'd be willing to bet I could describe each one of them. I've never read this book, never heard of this series before. I'd be willing to bet I could describe that team using only blue checkmark woke Twitter talking points, and I bet I'd be right. I bet I'd be as close to describing that team perfectly as I could get. So this comes out in the middle of the month. It comes out on Tuesday, a week from today. And I don't know what to say about it. I will read it. Of course, I read everything that I'm sent. There's no way that I'm going to review a book that has filthy vulgarity in the title. There's no way that I'm really going to talk about it or praise it. There's no way, in for instance, if I were going to review it, there'd be no way that I could avoid talking about the title. So, I mean, it's about GRRRL power. It's about Zoe Ash, who punches first and asks questions later, who is rad and cool and funny and quirky and random and totally approved and lesbian, of course. I don't know. I know that I am not the target audience of this book. Let's just put it that way. So I will read it, but I don't expect to get much out of it. And then we'll do this next one. This is in a manila envelope, but it's heavy, so it could be a finished copy. Oh, it is. It's a finished copy. We've seen this already. That's great. I was wondering what the finished copy of this thing would be like. We're obviously going to want to see it. Let's open it up here. This is the Bloomsbury Look, which we've seen on this channel. We saw the advanced copy of it. Here is the lovely finished copy. A book about the visual aesthetics of the Bloomsbury Group. This is by Wendy Hitchmo. Here is the book, The Bloomsbury Look. So it's a illustrated hardcover from Yale. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Okay, so you're gonna have everything in here. Black and white, color, sepia tone, paintings, photographs, houses, people, everything. All the stuff that was the visual look of Bloomsbury and extended Bloomsbury. That's great. As an interesting study, an interesting side look at Bloomsbury. This is the sort of thing that's just gold. And I have the advanced copy and haven't really done it justice. I haven't really examined it the way I should. So now that I have the finished copy, I will. It's a naked hardcover, and it is going to be $40. Drawing on unpublished photographs and extensive new research, the Bloomsbury Look is the first in-depth analysis of how the Bloomsbury Group generated and broadcast its self-fashioned aesthetic. While one chapter is dedicated to photography, which was essential to the group's visual narrative, others examine the Omega workshops as a design center and the evidence for its dress collections, spreading the Bloomsbury aesthetic to the general public. Finally, this book considers the group's extensive participation in 20th century modernism as artists, models, curators, critics, and collectors. Okay, so a new way to look at Bloomsbury, and that's great. I'm always up for that. Okay, so those are the two books. Now we get to the box, and we're going to need scissors for it because it's from one of you. It's taped to a fare thee well, and the reason why is because it comes from Turkey. It comes from the other side of the world, specifically Ankara. And when I saw that on the international shipping label, I tried to remember how long it had been since I've been to Ankara. It was a long, long time ago. A long time ago. I was introduced by proxy. I didn't directly know my host. I knew a friend of his, a colleague of his, and I was introduced to him by proxy and was told, you by all means come and let me lavish hospitality on you. If you've never been to the great country of Turkey, if you've never experienced that kind of hospitality, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. It's bottomless. And I knew that ahead of time. In other parts of Turkey in the past, I had always been a little bit of a burden when it came to that elaborate tradition of hospitality, because I came with dogs. I came with a crowd of dogs, and that strains hospitality in the old style world where people could think that they were unclean. That could strain hospitality. but I met my host, and he tolerated my dogs, and he asked what I wanted to see, and I, of course, said Roman ruins. Ankara, I want to see Roman ruins. And he readily agreed, and we spent a long time looking at Roman ruins and talking about them, and then going back to the house and relaxing over food and drink and talking about history and books and reading and literature and international affairs and whatnot. Absolutely delightful. I knew everything that there was to know about the Roman ruins in and around the area of Ankara. But my host knew everything there was to know about the Turkish sites to see, archaeological and architectural. And the highlight, probably in my mind, is the Ataturk Mausoleum, which was new at the time, and which is mind-boggling, just mind-boggling, beautifully done. So the mere mention of Ankara on this box took me back. But now we're going to see what's in here. We're going to see what we have here. I want to stress that we must not fall into this habit. We must not fall into the habit of sending Steve presents. Okay, we must not do that. This is very, very nice, certainly, but it got out of hand a while ago. What have we got here? I've got a very interested being right here. She's very interested in what's going on here. What is the first thing? It is a scarf. How wonderful. How wonderful. And in gray. Fantastic. Okay, that is thing number one. What is thing number two? Thing number two seems like a book. There's a bunch of stuff in here. You people are just too nice. You are just too nice. Okay, there's a kitchen magnet. I made mention of the fact that I love kitchen magnets. The refrigerator in the kitchen is covered in them. There's a postcard. Okay, great. And then wrapped in a pretty box, there is what I assume is a book. I'm assuming there's a book in here. Right? This is a perfect example of when the packaging is so pretty that you don't want to damage it. Just amazing that this came from Turkey. I have so many happy memories of Turkey, and it's wonderful, wonderful people. The wonderful, friendly, all-encompassing hospitality. The host that I was with that one time, the one time that sticks in my memory, was deeply curious about. Once he got over what I suspect was his initial revulsion, he was deeply curious about dogs. and wanted to know what on earth was going on there. What's going on with me and dogs? He noticed that my own dogs were very well behaved. But he also noticed that the street dogs that we were encountering were also very well behaved, that I was able to call them over to me and cuddle with them and talk with them, including in his own neighborhood, or near his neighborhood, some street dogs that were not friendly. And I tried to tell him, there's nothing, he was starting to think there was something mystical about it. I tried to tell him, no, it's not, as I've mentioned many times, it was not mystical. It was linguistical. I'm conveying something to them that you don't convey. That's all. But what have we got here? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my. All right, so we have first of all a bookmark with a tassel, which I love. But then we have, oh, look at this. This is an Italian paperback of The Little World of Don Camillo. Oh my. This is Giovanni Guarci. This is these are stories of a two-fisted Italian priest, a small village priest named Don Camillo, who has a sworn opponent, the mayor Peponi. Although both of them have pretty much the same experiences of going through the war, they are strong-willed bulls of men. Both of them are enormous, with hands like shovels, and they don't like. Peponi doesn't like it when Don Camillo pulls spiritual rank on him. And Don Camillo doesn't like any of the antics that Peponi and his fascist goons get up to, so they're constantly butting heads. You wouldn't think any of that would be funny, but these are delightful. Absolutely delightful. Especially since Don Camillo's temperamental excesses are checked not only by sometimes his own plans going wrong, but also by Jesus, who talks to him regularly throughout these stories and says to him, that's not exactly what I meant by turning the other cheek. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. And this is my only Don Camillo in Italian. Fantastic. That's just fantastic. Here, let's put the bookmark right in there. Then we have this thing. What is this thing? Oh, the bean is very excited. She is very excited. She wants to know what all this stuff is. What is this? Is it a pen? Is that what this is? What is this? I think this is a computer stylus, isn't it? I'll have to try it out. Does it say on here what it is? Yeah. Yeah, this is a computer stylus, I believe. Not sure if it's compatible with any of the iPads that I have. But I'll give it a try. I'll absolutely give it a try and see. Then what is next here? I can't believe you went to all this bother. It's just so incredible. What is this next thing? It comes in its own plastic bag. This is a tote bag. This is a tote bag from the University of Padua. Okay, great. So all this stuff. Hi, baby. How you doing? She's right here. She's right here. I think she's sensing that there's something in this box for her. And there is, isn't there, baby? Because also in this box is a plain old tennis ball. And that is of deep interest to the bean. I swear, it's the only dog I've ever seen who uses her hands to examine things. What is that, baby? Huh? What is that? What is that? What is that, baby? What is that? What is that? Huh? Oh! Well, that went over well. All right, well, that was a box full of goodies from Turkey. Incredible. Just thank you so much. That's incredible. So we have 2 books, this one, and the Bloomsbury Look. We also have Don Camillo in Italian, which bumps right to the head of the list for reading. I don't have any Don Camillo right at the moment, except one tiny little paperback in English. That's fantastic. Then a stylus, a postcard, a kitchen magnet. Is that all? Oh no, a scarf, and a tote bag. I think that's everything from this package, plus the tennis ball for Frida. Incredible. Okay, all right, incredible. So I'm gonna wrap up this video for now and take stock of all this stuff. See what I've got here. Thank you so much. I will wrap this up for now, but I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.